Applications of percent. Now, percents are used a lot in daily life. For example, one of the things that you do anytime you purchase something, you have to figure out the sales tax. Or when you go out to a restaurant, you have to figure out the tip. Or if you do something like buy a house or do a business deal, sometimes you have to figure out a commission. So those are just some examples of how you use this on a daily basis. Now, if we see here, finding sales tax. Now, if you go to the Lego store and you buy the totally awesome Death Star, which is this Lego set right here, it's got tons of minifigs, and it's quite expensive though. The price is $399.99. How much tax will you pay? The sales tax is 9.75%, which is sales tax in downtown Chicago. So if you go to a Lego store, that's how much you'll pay. So this here, we can just say right off the bat that's $400. So let's make this easy on ourselves. So this is going to be 400, and then the sales tax is 9.75%. So all we would do is we would just multiply by the decimal equivalent, which is going to be 0.0975, and so 0.0975. And obviously you can do this with a calculator. So 5 times 0, 0, another 0 there, and then 20. And 7 times 0, 0. We have to add the 0 because we're one place over. So now 7 times 0 is 0, and another 0 here. And 7 times 4 is 28. And then the 9, so we got to add 2 zeros, and 9 times 0 is 0, 9 times 0 is 0, 9 times 4 is 36. We're done with all the things we need to multiply, and that's just going to be 0, 0, 0, 0 again, because that's 8 plus 2, 10. So now it's going to be 9 and 3. So if that's the case, we then have to move the decimal point. How many spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. You remember our rules on decimal multiplication. So go here, we take our decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to pay a total of $39 in sales tax. So the price of this whole thing, when you add it all up, it's going to be about $439. So $38.99. So that would be the total price. So that $39 would be the sales tax. So now if you have a restaurant and you go to a restaurant, and here's an example of a restaurant interaction. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Big Blue and Grover, but Grover is the worst waiter ever, and Big Blue always gets his order messed up somehow, but hopefully you will never have a server like that. But what percent should you give if you get very good service at a restaurant if your bill is $52? And what will the bill be when you include the tips? So 52%. Now, most of the time when people go ahead and go by, they go 10% for kind of lousy service, 15% for good service, nothing exceptional, and then 20% for really, really good service. So we're going to go with 20% there. So what's 20% of 52? And you might be able to figure this out in your head because it's just going to be 10% twice, and that's one of the tricks. So this here, it's 10% is going to be $5.20. $5.20 times 2 is going to be $10.40. So it would be $10.40 would be the tip, and then the total amount you'd be paying would be $62.40. And that's for good service. Now, if you were to have bad service, then if you have horrendous service, then you don't need to leave a tip. But it is something where most of the time you're going to leave a tip of some sort. Then it would just be 10% of this, which would be $5.20. So then and one easy way to think about this is it's for 15% it's 10% and then half of that again. So $5.20 plus $2.60, so that's going to be $7.80. So if that was the case, $7.80 for that, because you got that, that's about 5.2, and so $5.20, and then half of that again is 26 or $2.60. So I add those two together, and that's how I get that amount. And then for 10%, it's just going to be $5.20. Okay, so that's how that works. And if you add them up to the amount here, you'd see what it is. For here, it would be $57.20. For here, it would be $59.80. So, but again, watch out for these guys here. This guy here, never go ahead and be in his station at a restaurant. That would be bad. Now, if you work at something like real estate, it's one of the reasons why people become real estate agents. You can make a lot of money when you sell houses or when you do business deals. If you have a commission, that's generally how it works. When you show houses, you go ahead and you make money when you sell them. You don't make any money if you don't sell the houses. So here, but if you have a business deal and you have a 9% commission, all you do is you figure out, well, I sold $700 worth of stuff. What's 9% of that? Well, 9% of that is going to be, well, 9 times 7 is going to be 63. And then that is, if I want to do it the long way, I could do it the long way, but just to show you what I mean. Because remember, we changed it to a decimal equivalent. Multiply, it's going to be 63, but with 2 zeros here. 0, 0, and then 63. Then move the decimal point over. So you're going to make $63 if you make that sale. If you have a 9% commission, which would be a very nice commission. Now here, if you are a real estate agent and you sell a house, you can make like 5% of commission sometimes on these houses. So you can understand why someone would want to go ahead and work at this, and even if they just sell a couple of houses a year, they can make a good amount of money. So again, this is as a decimal equivalent, 0.05 times 300,000, and then, well, we got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 15 over here. I made the decimal point 1, 2 spaces, 1, 2 spaces. So if you sell a house that's worth $300,000, you're going to make a total of $15,000 as a commission. So there's a reason why people go into real estate. And that's the end of the lesson. So